Eu estou aí, estamos ao vivo. Ok, pessoal, então bom dia a todos, sejam todos bem-vindos. Vou falar inglês, porque o nosso palestrante ainda não fala português. So it's welcome everybody. It's a pleasure to introduce today Ponnurangam Kumaraguru, also known as PK. You can refer to him as PK, it's fine. PK is visiting us for the third time. He's been here twice before, about 12 years ago, last time. And he's been working with LLMs, and we're just talking about this before, benchmarking LLMs and evaluating LLMs, a critical process, a critical step in the process of understanding what they do. And PK got his PhD at Carnegie Mellon University in the United States, and went to India to become a professor there and develop his work there. He has wide experience in a bunch of areas, including cybersecurity and social network analysis from the perspective of privacy and security, and more recently, LLMs, as I mentioned. And the talk today is about the transformation that LLMs can do. So PK has been in Brazil for 5 weeks now. He was at FMG prior to coming here. He gave a course there in 1 month. Students taking the course and doing an exam at the end, which is nice. Very nice to have you doing this here. And it's always a pleasure to have you here at UFRJ. So welcome again, and looking forward to your talk. Thank you.
Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for the introduction, Daniel, and thanks for the invite for me to spend some time here. So yes, I'm faculty at a university in Hyderabad, which is in the southern part of India. I think thanks to him for making the talk available. It looks like there are people online also. Welcome participants online, and thank you all for also coming. I understand that it's also and close to the end of the semester, so people must be also trying to figure out, for students, they must be trying to figure out things to finish in the courses, all the things. For faculty, they must be setting up the question paper, grading, and all that. So thanks for coming in that context. So how many of you are on social media? LinkedIn, at least? Nobody? Oh, wow.
No,
It's a different...
No,
LinkedIn? Okay, LinkedIn, a few of you, okay. So I did this post context to here. So the left one I posted on Sunday when I started from below, saying, oh, look, I'm going to Rio. And the right one I posted just this morning. Yesterday and today, I many thanks to him. He said to stay around Copacabana, so I just walked to the beach. I got some morning jog done. So I did that post on social media. So I do this. I have this hashtag that I use, which is this one, which is PROF-GIRE. That hashtag first prof is professor. GIRE means, at least in India language, GIRE, the word I derived from Gandhigiri, Dadagiri types, basically saying that a way of life, right? Professor is not a profession. For me, it's a way of life. It's the way I live my life. That's the meaning of this Prof Giri. I've been using this hashtag for about 12, 13 years now. All my posts that is relevant to showcasing a professor's life, I use this hashtag. Some questions to you now. How many of you are students, master's students, masters, okay, PhD? Oh, very nice. Faculty? Okay, very good. A question to all of you is, please raise your hand if you have published at least one paper until now. One paper, any topic, any topic. A topic doesn't matter. For the entire topic doesn't matter. I gave talk to biologists. I did talk to environmental scientists. So don't. Please keep your hands up. One paper published, keep your hands up. Of those of you who have published one paper, have you ever converted the paper, which is usually a PDF file, into another format? Which is usually we do one of the formats is deck of slides, which is to do conference presentation, all that. Other than that, any format you've done? Okay, let's ask the question. Have you seen others convert their research papers into another format? Yes. So what is that? What are those formats? Podcast. Very good.
Blog post.
Blog post. A book. Only one paper doesn't go as a book. A collection of papers goes as a book for sure. But we're talking about one paper here now. So therefore, podcast, blog, anything else? There are other formats which are more popular. TikTok. I'll actually talk about that.
By video, we to report or to present the paper.
Yeah. Not just present. It could be, for example, you sending it to your funding agency, right? Funding agency says that, oh, look, you're finishing the project, send us a 3-minute video, we can put it on our website. You have your own YouTube channel where you're actually uploading. Or you're a student, you are summarizing somebody else's paper. I'm pretty sure PhD students at least will know this 2-minute paper. There's a YouTube channel which is very popular, which is called 2-minute paper. So videos, right? Anything else? So now let's ask the question. All of you, except for one, have published one or more paper. All of you agree that you've seen others create other formats than PDF. Why no hands went up for creating those formats? Any thoughts on that? Why is that none of you have taken your paper and created a TikTok video? Why is that none of you?
I have no idea about what TikTok is. So
No, but let's do whatever. I'm sure you have an idea for what a YouTube is. Why no a YouTube video? Forget about a YouTube video. A video that's on your department website which summarizes your paper. I'm pretty sure you have a faculty page on the department, institute, something. You have a listing of your paper, or department has. Even if you don't have, department must have. Why is that the department papers are always a PDF file? Why not next to it a TikTok video? Why not next to it a YouTube video? Why not next to a podcast? What is the reason why we don't do it? It's not just you, by the way. It's across the world. Some are changing, and it will change. Take it from me. You can take this from me that I mean, it is already changing. No? If you see multiple conferences now, they mandate you to give a video. You have to give them a 2-minute video of your paper. It is changing. But why do you think it is? So let's ask the question, why is it even necessary? Why is it even necessary to have a podcast of your research paper? Or first is, let's say, even a basic question. Is it even necessary?
I think for sharing our research, sharing the community.
Yep, very good.
The research community, scientists.
Very good. I think it is necessary for even institutes like you more than anybody else, because you're actually getting money from government taxpayer, meaning citizens' taxpayer money is what is coming back to you. They need to know what you're doing. In some sense, I mean, one can argue that why should they know? That's okay. You can make that argument. But it is absolutely necessary for people to know what you're doing. Absolutely necessary for you to promote your research because you're getting money from the government. Yes, no? That's one argument. But let's take an individual argument. Why is it necessary for you as a person, you as a department, you as a lab to do that? So, promote yourself, right? Today, if you see across the world, so before coming here, we were talking about some faculty names. One faculty in Stanford who's very, very popular, Leskovic, and there are many more. Why are they popular? Absolutely, they do good research. I'm not denying that part at all. But there are necessarily equal number of people who do good research like Leskovic. But most of us know Leskovic or people like him is because they're more visible. He created a course which is popular. Not because he put the curriculum there, he put the videos recording there. Can you now understand the format change is extremely, extremely important these days. People want to consume content which is very short. I mean, I'm sure you must have consumed YouTube Reels, stories from morning, Insta Reels from stories from morning, WhatsApp status updates that from morning for sure. Why is that research never comes up there? That's the fundamental question I'm asking for the last 1.5 years. I've been asking this question about, look, I've been doing research for the last 20 years or so, but I feel like researchers generally end up writing a research paper, assuming that that research is getting consumed, assuming that that gets attention, not doing anything more beyond that. But in the current world, where the attention span of everybody, including the students who want to do research, is extremely, extremely low. So they're not going to read your papers. Here is another argument why this is more important. Generally, our research papers are what, 8 pages, 10 pages, 7 pages, whatever. What language do you generally write your research paper in? English. Brazil has done an amazing job in creating Brazilian conferences, which are very, very good, where people go. But across the world, that's not the way it is. For example, India does not do that at all. Every single researcher who writes a paper in India writes only in English. But imagine India has the highest population, more number of students want to do research. If they want to become a researcher, they have to know English well now, which is not necessary, right? Why is that an entry barrier to being a researcher? Is the question that I'm asking. You don't need to have English as an entry barrier to become a researcher. So I'm basically posing my question in 2 different vectors. One vector I'm asking the question as formats. Okay, all of us do PDF as the paper, but there are other formats that we talked about: video, podcast. So this is not clear, right? Podcast, TikTok, YouTube stories, blah blah blah. The other thing that I'm asking a question about is language itself. Why is it's only in English? It's not the question of, I'm not trying to say that, oh, everybody in the world should write papers in Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, Tamil, Hindi, Marathi, Indian languages, all that. No, that's not the point I'm making. I'm trying to build a platform that can do all this. Why is that easy now compared to, let's take about 2 years back, thanks to LLM? That's the connection that I'm making with whatever I'm planning, whatever I'm spending most of my time on. Before showing anything, I'll show you some output to get your attention and get your, so to say, imagination in some sense. So these are papers of Daniel. If any of you have any research papers that you want me to try, if your paper is an archive, tell me, I'll just show it to you right away. Any paper that you have online, I can do it real time for you. But for now, I'm just showing to show output in Portuguese. Okay, and whatever I'm showing you now as an output is just a click of a button. How many of you know or have used Notebook LM? Notebook LM is our inspiration, right? Notebook LM does for everything. Our focus in Saral has been just research paper because that's what we understand well. And by the way, whenever I'm saying research paper, please replace it with patent also. Yes, our problem statement is increasing the visibility of research, increasing the visibility of research into translation, increasing the visibility of researcher individuals also. So let me play this. I don't know Portuguese, but I've already given these files to some of my students in the class to test whether it's good. They said it's above a threshold for sure. Everybody will understand what's going on. So I'm very, very comfortable in actually playing it also.
Mas clãs terem redes sempre despertam meu interesse. Do que exatamente estamos falando aqui?
Right? Why not? Right? Why not this click of a button, convert this, put this as a YouTube video on the department channel, saying, oh, look at the new paper that Daniel published in blah, blah, blah. Consumption rate will increase. And I have data to show that if you convert your research into a format that is not PDF, your citation increases directly. Second, good. Meaning these are, Daniel, I just said the first one, which everybody understands, but I'll tell you more, which the nuances of actually doing this. If you write a LinkedIn post of your research paper, right, whether published or an archive, the visibility of your research increases very, very high. And these are things that people have evaluated. These are not my research. People have done to show that these things happen. I'm just using it to make my argument more stronger. Okay. So this is the First one, this is the podcast format, the one that she said, right? You just run, you're walking in the morning, you're doing something, you're just listening to this 5-minute, 6-minute, 7-minute podcast. And please keep in mind, our goal is not to make the listener understand or appreciate everything in the paper. That's how it is, right? Your goal is to excite them about your research so they go read the paper. Because all of us have less attention span. You will not be able to consume 25 papers in a week now, but you will be able to consume 25 papers into 5 minutes podcast to decide which of the 25 papers you really want to read more. That's the logic we are doing. Okay, so this is Daniel's first paper. So this one is an audio of the same thing. Okay.
Welcome back to Science Unpacked. Today, we're diving into a fascinating paper titled Clustering Node-Attributed Networks with Graph Neural Networks and Self-Learning. That sounds like a mouthful. What's squaring? But clustering?
Okay. The first one I showed you is a podcast. It's a podcast only one person is explaining. This is a 2 people conversation. And by the way, whatever I'm showing you is all customizable. It's an open source project. I'll give you the URL for the GitHub code and everything. 100% customizable. You can change male voice, female voice, space. You can change even the text. We're giving you the opportunity, we're giving you the flexibility of, oh, this sentence in Portuguese is wrong. I want this sentence to change. Or the LLM caught it as 96%, but actually it is only 64%. All this we are allowing you to edit, Notebook LM doesn't do. And by the way, we're not in the competition with Notebook LM. We are just using that as a completely an inspiration for us to actually set this up, right? So that's the podcast. Here is a video format of the same thing. Video meaning first it converts into a slides, right? We take the paper, convert. So today actually Saral is being used by professors for teaching also. Okay, so you take the research where you're teaching a class where you want to use a research paper written by somebody. You have access to the PDF file, give it to Saral. Meaning all these formats, everything you can change, customizable. I just took one template. So here is a deck of slides. It's a deck of slides of Daniel's paper.
Attributed networks with graph neural networks and self-learning.
I'll just move it so you.
know that in a typical
I'll just move it so you appreciate the technical part also, not necessarily always listening to the introduction.
social network, trying to find groups of like-minded individuals just by who they follow or just by their profile info often misses the full picture. We need both.
I listened to this because I know the discipline a bit. It has captured generally what the idea for the paper is. And we have tested this topic, tested this platform in multiple disciplines. We have about 8,200 users in the platform now. About every 40 days, 50 days, we get about 1,000 papers uploaded on the platform. So we have some nice statistics also about how the platform is being consumed, what format do people use. We're also improvising on the formats that we get every feedback. So here is for the
plots there? Are the plots?
Yeah, plots also we can get. So I'll show you.
In this presentation, do we have also graphics?
Yeah, we can get all of them, Daniel. So for example, I'll show you some of the, not in this. So all of this is customizable is what I kept. So the one that I made for this particular paper doesn't have it, but there are other formats, other sorts of videos that I've created where I can actually, so all this is customizable again. You can say that you want the plots and not plots to be there. Okay. So let me just show you the one of the formats which generally the students are going to like. How many of you are on Instagram? Okay, so here is a 1-minute version of the paper. 1-minute version of the paper. This is Fabricio's paper. So
92% do que as pessoas fazem nas redes sociais é apenas observar, não postando, só olhando. 92%? Esse é um número significativo.
Your TikTok, right? Why can't this be uploaded on a TikTok and your paper? So please keep in mind, it doesn't have to be your paper. You're reading a paper and still you can do this, right? Our user base is 2 sides. One is somebody who's creating a content. I published a paper, I want more visibility. The other is, look, I want to consume content. So I'm actually finding ways to promote this content or consume the content in different format.
Como os pesquisadores sequer descobriram uma atividade tão oculta, eles usaram dados detalhados de cliques.
Right, so that's about Portuguese. So same thing we can do it as business briefs. So I'll show you all the formats later, at least the list. So the business brief is mostly for, we actually talked about in the morning, the innovation office in UFRJ campus, right? The tech transfer office. They also want, what are researchers in my campus doing? They have to go sell technology of UFRJ faculty and students to outside world. They're not going to read a 12-page paper that you publish. Absolutely nobody reads it, right? So now, can you convert the research paper into a format for your tech transfer officer or whoever is in the campus to understand the research done, to go tell outside world saying that this is more like a business brief which talks about what is the executive summary, what is the discipline that it is helping, who can actually commercialize it, right? All of this is what format. And interestingly, we also have the format of a LinkedIn post. So you give the input as a paper, output is a LinkedIn post that you can do. Input is a paper, output is a Twitter thread. Input is a paper, output is a website. Right? I don't know how many of you have created a website for your paper. Today, that's becoming, so to say, necessary also. A lot of people do it. Again, for visibility purposes. You have GitHub, right? GitHub has a page for your research and you convert a paper into it doesn't have to be a website, but it's a web page. That's at least there. Okay, any questions still here? Any questions, clarifications? So
just from my understanding, it's a really interesting technology. In fact, what it's doing is that getting a piece of information,
yeah,
and preparing interpretation for that information and then providing an output.
Yeah.
Okay. And the interpretation is based on what knowledge? It's
the paper that you're submitting.
Only the paper.
Only the paper for now. It has some world knowledge for sure, which is an LLM. So like if you thinking about the architecture, let's put it there so people online also can
see. Is it a private LLM or it's a
no, it's a Gemini. It's a Gemini for us. It's a Sarvam for, so Gemini is for our, so this is architecture paper, goes to Gemini, gets the summary.
Okay, please could you use the black
yeah, sure. Black was not working. That's why I picked the blue.
The other color maybe.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Is this more better?
It's better.
Yeah, okay. So the paper is input. It goes to Gemini. Let's say this is G. It produces output as summary. It produces text of what the summary of the paper is. That's today very easy to do. Any off-the-shelf model you can do. And all of this is, how many of you have done access tokens, API access tokens? How many of you understand all that? Right. So, which is basically, it sends the paper, it does the tokens, uses the summary, gets the text. And then from the text, we go to a platform which is for now, which is an Indian model, which is called Sarvam, which does TTS for us. Text to speech. I get this. I get the output from here. I have the text. Any of you know Beamer, the LaTeX Beamer? We use LaTeX Beamer to put this content into slides. Now I have that. Beamer. From Beamer, we go to MoviePy, which is, I have the slides, I have this audio. MoviePy is again an open source thing. You use MoviePy to merge all of this to create the video. And similar platform, we have all other things. That's what we do. And that's why, sir, what my point is that 2 years before, if you have asked me whether this is possible, not necessarily. Today, it's extremely easily possible. It's because of the power of, so to say, AI, Gen AI platforms that are available. My job here is more of saying that, look, I understand this research ecosystem a bit. I think we can, particularly I'm for example, one thing I'm planning to do is actually take a sabbatical. When I go back to Brazil, which this Sunday, I'm actually going to take a position within the government of India. I'm moving to Delhi to do my sabbatical. So this organization is called ANRF, for you to just get some context. What is ANRF? I'll just tell you. Your CNPQ, all of you get funding from there. ANRF is exactly that.
All of you is a strong.
Okay, some of you get funding from there, right? So I'm going to do my sabbatical, equivalent to CNPQ here, attacking this problem of, look, I want to see Indian research ecosystem have this multiplier effect now. I want to use technology to showcase Indian research in very different formats to get more visibility. That's the goal that at least some of us have, and I've been playing around with that. Okay. Any other question? I thought some of you raised a hand.
Oh, I had it.
Yeah.
So do you envision sort of like streamlined process where you publish a paper and then right away you generate all these formats at once, and then everything's already uploaded like you can have like a users, sign up for a platform, and a platform is exactly.
We already have done some of it, which is that you have a paper. So currently we're also talking to few organizations which will help answer. One is in the Saral platform today, you can directly have a paper uploaded. It can, by click of a button, it can directly be on your YouTube channel. It can directly post it on your LinkedIn. What you're saying is that can the publisher also do this?
Or even the user, but have all of this like the defined beforehand, and then you just say, I want to be part of your platform. Then you just create, $1 whenever that thing comes out.
So I'll show you the platform now, where in a click of a button you can get everything. And then what you're saying is that users can just sign up for what format they want, and they keep getting. Interestingly, YouTube channel, YouTube playlist is something that people have started doing it. What you're asking is basically a YouTube one version of it.
Yeah.
So here is I'll just jump to that slide and then I can come back to it later. So this is a university in India which has decided that all papers published by so like UFRJ in India, if you've known about academic institutes, these are called IITs, Indian Institute of Technology, and then there will be a city name, IIT Madras, IIT Kanpur, IIT Kharagpur. So one of the institute is IIT Roorkee. They have actually created a YouTube playlist, papers that gets published by faculty at IIT Roorkee. They use Saral, they convert the video, and look at it, they even have the YouTube Reels uploaded it here, and it's a YouTube channel. Now if you go play all, which is what you're saying, you as a user will subscribe to this playlist. Whenever IIT Roorkee uploads a video on it, you get it. That's what we want, no? We want to go away from the pipeline. I mean, I think Saral should not be even within the, right? They users keep uploading automatic. So we're also talking to conferences, by the way. So today, if you publish a paper at ICML, if you publish a paper at ICLR, whatever conference, they only upload a PDF file there. Why can't every conference, when you submit a paper gets accepted, open review automatically has a Saral output there. I mean, Saral is only an example. Another format output there. Why can't it be there? Today I have to read the 12 pages from open review to get the paper. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Let me go back. So now that I've given you all the teasers, you should be able to understand some of the slides more quickly. So this is the few things that I talked about, which is in one slide. Today we are able to do all of this because the power of these tools help us answer or address this question of name. Also, I was telling you, Saral is basically means simplify in India, one of the languages. So that's what our goal is. Our goal is to simplify, demystify. The words are written there, simplify, demystify research for people who want to consume it more. And as a professor, as an academia, our interest is also to get more and more researchers come into the pipeline. And I'm sure it's a problem in Brazil also. The attention span of students is much, much lesser today than 5 years before. They want to get everything in an instant speed, right? So it's hard. Okay, I told about CNPQ, I told about ANRF. What's the connection to ANRF is also that, meaning it's a funding agency, it's a body of faculty, students, everybody gets funded in different formats. Most of them gets funded in different format. Saral is a project. Saral is a project that ANRF does it. ANRF itself is actually doing the, so to say, Saral as a project. That's the CEO. If time permits, I'll play the video at the end where he's making an argument. So he's the head of, I don't know how you're recording it?
No.
If you're taking pictures, that's fine. Yeah. Anyway, it's all online. Anyway, listen to the talk. I think it's already on the YouTube, I guess. Right? So I'm pretty sure there's an equivalent of CNPQ head here. There it is called Chief Executive Officer. So he's the head of ANRF. So he also makes an argument for why Saral is necessary. Interestingly, this is the Minister of IT of Government of India, who's also more recently, after some meetings and updates with him. He's also been talking about Saral. I mean, this is what we would like to see. We would like to see people use these sort of say platforms to showcase their research. Okay, next few slides are just at least for the last 6-7 months, we have been very, very aggressive in terms of pushing different features. So that's the format. I mean, these are the October, November, December release flyers that we made. But the idea is that we've been making a lot of features added because of inputs from people like you. I mean, I've been giving these talks, not very frequently in the last couple of months, though. Before that, I was very aggressive. Now I'm more interested in just building a lot more features in it. Lots of inputs. When people use it, post it on LinkedIn, tag us, give us some feedback. Lots of features I credited to online users because they actually come back to us saying, oh, this is not there, that's not there. I'll show you a few of them in a few minutes. So one of the interesting things that also came up at some point in time was, oh, look, you're actually converting English paper into Portuguese, what you listen. But if you remember, the text was still in English. Is that okay? Why can't that be also in Portuguese? So what is that I'm saying is, I want to try and attack this problem, language barrier that researchers have as much as possible. Not just only in terms of listening, but can I also give the content, which is what this is. This is Hindi Devanagari script that is written, and can people actually consume the content like this? So I saw some nodding of heads when I said LinkedIn post. I don't know whether, how many of you seen a LinkedIn post of a research paper? But today it's very, very popular. I mean, when people publish a paper, they just say that, oh, here is a paper I published, accepted. I think when acceptance comes, only people do a post now. People do a post. I
was the outlier.
You're an outlier for what?
I don't post any of my papers.
You must be very popular also then.
I don't know.
Therefore, you don't need to post. People come to you, right? But what we are talking about is, but you're, as you rightly said, you're an outlier. So I mean, I think the problem statement until now, you were with me in the problem statement. You seem to be nodding most of the things that I'm saying. The problem statement is not for people like you. Problem statement is how, I mean, clearly Brazil is also in this pyramid format, right? You're probably here. But the problem is this.
I think it's a matter of age. It's future. It's the approach, it's the technology.
Absolutely, for sure. I think that is embedded in many of our choice making also, right? Today you do.
I can tell you that I feel so bad when I see this type of posts in Facebook or maybe LinkedIn, not too much.
But why do you think? But why do you think it's? Why are you not happy about it?
It's because I always play low profile. I don't. But it's just my issue.
Yeah. But today, sir. But unfortunately, today world, if you see, unfortunately or fortunately, is a place where you have to showcase what you want to do, what you're doing. Unfortunately, that's how the world is. Because of the denominator factor. Meaning, when you were a PhD student, probably the number of people who were doing, number of people wanting to do what you're doing is much lesser. Probably 10 times lesser, 10x, 20x lesser than now. I'm pretty sure students who are getting in here for PhD or masters must be competing far, far higher than what you competed. Right? It's a survival of the fittest, no? You got to be fit. So, right. So this is a LinkedIn post which just says that, okay, here is a paper. I do all of this myself. Every single time, at least my students push me to do it. I do a Twitter thread, which is this 10 posts about 10 threads about one paper, images, all this. So we said, okay, Saral also should have it, blah, 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 all that, right? So we did all this. This is one slider again, showcasing that what all we have done, papers, patents. You said earlier about books. Books is in our list of things to do, but I don't think so. We are yet there. So we're attacking the problem because these are the only 4 types of output of a researcher. You write a paper, you write a patent, you write a book, you write a thesis. Right? There's nothing else that a researcher's output format is. Maybe there are others, but generally that's our input. Output is all of that I've talked about. Presentation, poster, reels, podcast, social media, illustrations. Illustrations is the infographic, blogs, briefs, website. There may be more, but currently our list is this. The white ones are already done. The blue ones are some things that we're working on currently. Another format that nobody mentioned of all of you is this, particularly the students, I think, are mostly the ones. It's this poster, right? Right. This is something that students do because you go to ICLR, only small percentage of paper gets accepted. Most of us are in a poster. You have to print a poster, you have to prepare a poster. For Saral, actually, we give the input as a paper. It just produces this, your images comment, Daniel. So it actually brings all the relevant images. It shows as a text. It's editable, so you can actually go edit. We actually give you the LaTeX file, right? LaTeX file is the output, so you can actually go edit it the way you want. Okay, so that's the format of poster. So I showed you all the formats, which is poster, reels, podcast, about 8,200 users now. So two things I will show you more. Any questions still here? I'll show you the platform right now. Until now, I showed you all the output. Now I'll show you the platform itself. And I'll also show you a browser. How many of you use extensions in browser? Right, so we also have built an extension. So for archive format, if you go to, I'm guessing all of you know archive as a platform. We have built up extension which works on archive. We go to an archive, just do whatever I told you until now automatically. Any questions? Otherwise, I'll show you quickly. I'll upload a paper. So this is basically the platform. Okay. Saral.democratizeresearch.in. I'll put the QR code. I upload a paper. I just downloaded the paper from Daniel, the different paper. This is one of his most cited paper, I think. I don't know whether it's the same paper. So this is one of his papers. So I get started. What is it doing now? You're all able to see the screen? Yeah. Right. Is that okay? Is that better? Yeah. So it's basically doing whatever I said here. It's parsing the paper. First, it is basically parsing the paper. One of the critical things that we spent a lot of time in is building this PDF parser. Because you need to know where the figure is. You need to know what figure it is, which page, blah, blah, blah. That's what we did. So it will do the PDF parsing, then send it to Gemini, then get the whole pipeline. Then you can, when it comes back, you can tell it to create whatever format you want, the question that you asked, right? I just click a button, and then I actually get all the formats that I want, is what we can actually see. By the time it does, I will go to, it primarily builds on the bandwidth. That's why I asked him, so it's come, right? So it's the paper, structure to work, blah, 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 all that. I say go to dashboard, goes to the dashboard. Every paper is in the dashboard. So because every output that you've created before also, you created a paper of yours, let's say a month back onto a podcast, you would like to give it back to you. You don't come and use the API tokens. So one of the things that we have also set up is this API token business, which is if you understand the API token, every time you send a paper to Gemini, you're basically converting the paper into text. That takes tokens for us. We are saying that, look, we'll actually produce ways by which you can use your own API tokens also. You don't want to use ours. I mean, you can use ours. Currently, we have collaboration with thanks to Gemini, thanks to Google, thanks to Saral. They are giving us access tokens for us to build it because we are solving a big problem, right? But if you use your own access token, it's good for us. You're not consuming our money. You using access token gives you another flexibility. We also only get the metadata of what you're actually doing, what paper you're actually doing. So let's do podcast of the new. So here is what I said. No, you can do it in any language. So currently we support 21 languages. We just added Portuguese because I was in Brazil, so I wanted to showcase it to all of you. Portuguese is the only non-Indian language in the list, right? Because I wanted to go around and show actually Portuguese also works well. So I'll pick Portuguese. I'll say female. This is the two-part people, gender A, gender B.
People speak Portuguese in Goa?
No, very low. Right, so I say convert, done. I'll show you, it's just running in the background, it'll come back, but I'll show you the other papers that I've been playing around for Portuguese demos. All the UFMG people paper is here. Basically, you can get all the, if you've seen the screen that I clicked on podcast, it had all the formats that I showed you. LinkedIn, Twitter, video and everything. Okay, it will So this is the paper that we are looking at. So it's doing the conversion. By the time it does the conversion, I'll go to my Chrome. I'll show you the demo of the browser extension. Right? So this is a paper. It's the same paper of Daniel. What it does is, this is the extension that we have built. I'll give you the extension link also. If you go to the extension and then I say view, so it's going to actually, the list is already there. I just created this so you can actually listen. The podcast that I showed you before is from here. Let's click on this paper and then say create a video podcast. Let's do podcast here. So what it is doing is it will create the, right? It will create whatever I showed you until now in the click of a button from the browser in the archive itself, right? Instead of going to the platform. Because how many of you use Mendeley or Zotero, all that? At least the students, I'm guessing, will use, right? So if you're using that, that's exactly what we want to simulate. We would like to simulate a Zotero or Mendeley, where you are reading a paper, you land in a paper on a website. We would like to give you access to just converting into a different format directly from there. That's the idea. Google does all of these interesting things when you're giving a demo, but any questions? Right, so that's the, and what the way we envisioning is that all of us land onto paper in different ways, right? You go to a paper by looking at Daniel's name. You go to a paper by looking at a topic. You search for example, this is what would happen, right? Generally, what you would have done, you would say network science. I got to know about this paper, structure to WEC or something, Daniel. Something like that you will do, you will end up going to the paper. And that's what we would like to simulate through Saral. Oh, if you end up being like this in a paper, can I actually give you ways by which you can just use Saral to create, right? So I say, okay, can I create a video of this paper? So it's going. So the advantage that we have using archive is that it is, because of its open source nature, I can actually get access to the source file. Yes, no? Even when one of the screens that I did not emphasize is that if you do look at, so you can actually give input as a PDF, an archive link, or the archive folder itself. When you write a paper, you have the archive folder. The advantage of this is that when you give us the access to the source files, we know actually where the images are. Introduction slide, introduction section, I can put the image from the introduction instead of going through our PDF parser, which may or may not be the best. Whereas if you give, that's what archive advantage is. When you give a link to the archive, we actually know where the sections of the images are, also the source files, right? Text is also, we have as a text file. Is that okay? Text file, .tex is text file, so I can actually process it better. That's the idea from using the LaTeX source, right? Okay. Okay, so here are the other formats, right? The video, podcast. For that particular paper, whenever you end up creating those output, you will see all of them, the point that you said also, right? One paper, the way we have arranged it is one paper. Let me show you some other papers so you'll see, right? One paper, the output of that paper. I know which paper has more than one, so everything has one. Right, so that's the way that the structure that we have set out, which is that, yeah, so, okay, so let's see the paper that we are converting. It'll convert at some point in time, it will show us the output here. But any questions still here? Yeah.
So
yeah.
you must get a lot of feedback for customization.
Yeah.
So is it tricky to use these models to get like a lot of control over the kind of
what do you mean customization like?
I don't know, the person two in the podcast sounds too gloomy.
Yeah.
You can say, oh, that person sounds too gloomy, make her.
Yeah, sure. So that level of sort of say customization, we have gotten feedback. We also have it in our list of things to do. But I don't want to do it right now because I think let's make sure that the bottom of the pyramid, which is the people who can use this, large number of people should be able to use this with whatever the vanilla version that we can build. I think those are frills in some sense, right? Frills is probably slightly a negative connotation, but those are things that we can do after we have solved the problem of large user base using it. I think we have that feedback that is, so currently Sarvam, for example, actually gives us that flexibility to us. We are randomly picking. Actually, when you listen to the audio, you understand. So Sarvam has like, I think 12 or 13 different users' voices that I can pick from. We have listened to all of them, so to say, rated them, and we pick the top 4 in male and top 4 in female. We rotate this when you come to us. When you produce 2 output, the 2 output will not have the same voice. That's the customization that we have done until now. We don't want to really open it up. It is easy to build all that, but if we are not able to solve the bigger problem of getting more users with what we already have, that's the problem that we would like to see.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the workflow would be if someone is not satisfied yet with the output of the system.
So currently what we do is there's a feedback form or feedback system in every step that you do, which is you don't like the language, you don't like the slides that is prepared. We get feedback to our email addresses and to me. We track it. At some point in time, we sort of say rank them and then keep addressing them. That's what we do. So let me show you now. I have about until when should I go, Daniel? 4 minutes to 12. Yeah. Yeah, I should be able to. So now I'll tell you that we've built all these features. I'll show you some promotion of what we have done itself. This is an academic institute in the world, academic institute in India, which is #1 ranked for research. It's called Indian Institute of Science. It's in Bengaluru. And they actually have Saral videos as a research output on their LinkedIn page. Right? So they are saying that, look, when faculty publish a paper, we will use Saral, convert it. All of these institutes are doing their own ways of setting the pipeline. The R&D office does, the promotion office does, different people are trying different methods. This I already said, IIT Roorkee does. There's one faculty in IIT Roorkee who is actually fascinated by Saral. Yeah.
Just a minute. Daniel, please turn on the light because the people on YouTube is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the one faculty in India is actually fascinated by Saral. Every single paper that he or his students publish, he goes to Saral. He's our top user of Saral. Hundreds of papers he's actually converted. This 88 was slightly long. And he has a YouTube channel for his lab. He puts it there. We were fascinated by some of these. And today, if you just go to YouTube and just search the word Saral, there's a lot of content that we did not create. Not the videos. Meaning there are even videos about how to use Saral now. Right? Explainer videos of using Saral, which is fascinating to see. And particularly, I'm also very excited about this open source idea. So these are some more faculty. That's open source, right? So I don't know how active or inactive the UFRJ open source student body is. Some people in India are very active, right? So this is reach out to those people if you're interested. Feel free to reach out to me. But that's the GitHub repo, fully open source. You can. I've seen people now customizing Saral for some local act. For example, some people are interested in using it only for education. I'm not currently committed to teaching, because I want to spend more time on this research paper itself. I don't want to change my input other than research paper right now. Right? So that's the stand I've taken, but there are others who are interested in doing other things. There are also other interesting things about open sources, because there are some members in the team whom I have not even met in person, because they're sitting somewhere in India and contributing to the project, which is actually very interesting. That's ANRF CEO, Dr. Shiv Kumar, who also talks about Saral in his talks when he talks about it. Any guess on how many people would be working on this project? 100? Okay. 5? Okay. It's actually 3. Right? We have only 3 full-time people working on the project. Again, amazingly thanks to we were talking about, I was actually talking to some other professor also, this power of these models to even produce code, produce things that we can actually use, right? So it's, even though the picture has 8 or 9 of us, only 3 people are full-time. People like me, we just spend some time. I have other commitments also, but that's the team which is actually building on it.
You're all from the university.
Actually, no. When we took this picture, I met 2 or 3 of them for the first time in my life. We wanted a picture together, so we got them all to Hyderabad there was some opportunity to get them. University actually is only the 3 full-time people. So they're all project staff. No, they're all something called as project staff. They're not getting any degree from us.
Okay.
They work full-time on only Saral. Only project.
Okay, project staff.
Yeah. So he's interestingly, the top left is actually a second-year undergrad student.
Wow.
These are students who are just contributing a bit here and there, but the full-timers are project staff.
But they have a full degree.
They already have a degree. They already have a undergrad degree with them. So one request that I have for all of you, if it's possible for you to try to do, is explore, of course, the platform. See whether you can actually use the platform and convert your research or somebody else's research. And of course, try to post it on social media. Not for you, sir, but anybody else. Post it on social media and tag us. So this slide is mostly also to say that my commitment and ANRF's commitment is also, we will amplify the research that we get to know through this Saral output. Because currently, India is also in a flux, right, where we want to actually do a lot of things. A lot of things are also happening within the country. We want to sort of say showcase it more. That's the goal here. If you're interested, that's the platform. Simple, if you just search for Saral in Google, it should come up. But that's a platform. Feel free to explore. I know some of them have sent how many of you have sent a LinkedIn request to me? I saw that yesterday or yesterday. But if you're interested in connecting, those are my social media, so to say, QR codes. Thank you for your attention. If you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer. We can take questions from online also. But thanks for coming. I'll do a picture with all of you together, and I will post it on social media. If you're not interested, you can close your face like that. Right? You can do whatever you want in terms of. So to make the picture more, sort of say, engaging, can we all come together? It'll look much more better. Yeah.
So should we?
Yeah, we can.
You can
Yeah.
you can run from my questions here.
Yeah, I mean,
He wants to make questions.
yeah, I can answer as many questions as you want. Is it possible for you to come this side? If you can come this side,
Okay.
I'll go there. So because all of us will be visible in such a picture.
Okay.
Then you submit it to Saral, and Saral is going to contextualize the picture.
Yeah.
Explain with a beautiful video.
Yeah. So given that we're taking a picture, we can go to the
Why
slide.
you did not come in black? May I understand that?
Yeah, I think there's something going on here.
Good.
Nice.
Okay, good.
So we can do more questions
Okay, thank
online
you.
also.
Thank you for the talk.
Thank you.
I want a picture. I want to share it with me.
Yeah, sure.
Post in the department.
Yeah, sure. Which language is that? Saral. Saral is Tamil. So
But do we have time for questions?
yeah, I'm here, so you can shoot. Yeah.
May I, Daniel?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The first one is that I don't know if I missed that. But since we are providing, we are giving the tool some input, how
Yeah.
it deals with the papers that are in some way copyrighted?
You want to throw all the question, or you want to do one by one?
Okay, I can do the second.
Yeah.
What Saral does with the data after it makes the computation.
Okay.
And the third one is that is it possible to use a knockout LLM instead of Gemini, for instance?
Yep, sure.
Okay.
So easy one first. The second one, data is easy. We don't do anything. We don't store. We don't keep.
Okay.
We don't. I mean, that's a conscious choice that we made when we designed, saying we don't want to know the paper that you're doing. We don't want to. So because it also increases our storage, whatever, right? So that's the easy part. The copyright one is the hardest one. Let's do the LLM one. So the LLM one is absolutely possible. Currently, we are also exploring this idea of mixture of experts. It's called MOE. It's called, which is you don't have one model. You have like N models here. You pick and choose which you want in whichever context. There, we are exploring this open source model. Whatever.
It's running on the cloud or not,
it does that. So that's the second element point. The third one is the hardest one, which is the copyright thing. So the copyright thing, so what Saral stand has been, we have our own terms and conditions, privacy policy on the website. The copyright, for all of your understanding also, is a spectrum, right? From the level of, let's take archive or open source, which is, look, I put everything public, you do whatever you want, to a journal or a conference saying, we own everything, you don't own anything. That's the spectrum. So if you're in the bottom, it's easy. From here, it's all easy. We looked at all the, at least the papers that people publish in India, we looked at all of them. There are only extremely small number of conferences or journals in the top. Everything else, if you're doing it for academic purposes and non-commercial purposes, even if the journal or the conference have access to copyrighted, still you can use. If you have to give a lecture, nobody is stopping you. If you have to sort of say use it for a non-commercial purposes, nobody's stopping. Therefore, Saral stands is, look, you can take any paper for anywhere the top level, whatever these problematic journals, they're not going to be public anyways. So that's the stand.
Yep. More questions? We have one question here online.
So how many people are online?
Right now we have 4.
Okay, very good.
They left, but we had like 15.
Yeah, let's go. What's the question?
The question is the lack of math formulas and specialized notation for the general public. Can this constrain the perceived quality of the work?
Absolutely. That's a fantastic question. That the reforming the questions. Look, the paper is there. It has math. For example, Daniel's paper had some math. The slides that is making it does not have the math in it, and therefore the user listening to it may miss some out that is important. They will get only with this math function. I understand and I appreciate it, but the user audience that we are currently looking for is people who should, if you remember my line that I said earlier, our interest is to excite people about Daniel's paper, not necessarily to know everything from what Daniel's paper has. That's the first stand I will take. My second stand is, or second reaction to the question is, there are, interestingly now in the last at least 5-6 months, we have seen people interested in doing research on Saral, which is, for example, one professor reached out to me saying, oh, look, we want to actually understand the impact of Saral. I'm saying that, look, paper, PDF, converted into all this format, the visibility will increase. That's true. But do users understand everything from Daniel's paper from what the video itself? Right? You have the paper, you have the video. Somebody only consumes the video. If you ask some questions about the paper to the person who consumed only from the video, do they know the answer? That's one research question that people are starting to ask. Other research question that somebody in Goa is interested is, you're saying that these different formats are there, which is there is a PD, there is a video, there is podcast, there is reels, all this. Which of these formats are good for which of the community? Right. So these two are the my reactions that I will say. One is math. Currently, understanding a math function from a PhD paper itself is hard. Even if you ask Gemini to do it, I don't think so. It does very, very well. So therefore, our testing has also been our evaluation of Saral is very high quality in the areas of STEM. If it goes beyond that, if it goes to social science, if it goes to something else, the quality reduces a bit, but still it is doing okay. But the math, physics, and all is extremely hard right now. That's my answer. Okay, cool. Anything else?
Last question. Okay, so let's thank PK again.
Yep.